Looks like we are live. Nice. Can actually start trying to think through this puzzle. Gotta cross 4,000. Gotta cross 4,000. What is this though? I like isn't it for sure we take Isn't it for sure we take C8? Blazing Heart, how's it going? Goon, how's it going? Sharkz, heck yeah. This puzzle, I feel like it's probably something like take king runs through here. And that's the surprising thing. I mean, because this doesn't make sense, right? What's the material count? See, this is what I say. Like, I'll say it time and time again. I wish, in my own laziness, they would give me the material count. How the crap am I, Goon? I am good. I'm so tired. Like, I'm still recovering from the last 2 weeks, but overall feeling great. It was a great time, and yeah, it's good to be back and streaming a bit more regularly. H1, thank you. How was your travels home? Queen sack on F1. Oh, queen sack on F1's interesting. All right, so let's do a little counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 7. We have. Okay, so if we take here, white has 2 pawns more. I would have 2 pawns for 2 pieces. Did I lose? Will I play Tuesday? I will do tactics. Did I lose any simul games or at least face a challenge? I lost. I think I did something like 75 games, around 75, and I lost 4. Yeah, three of those games I just hung a piece. Like I straight up like really just I just hung a piece. Like I straight up like really dumb. But I didn't feel bad. Like when in the simuls, I try to play like really fast. Particularly one was a 40. It ended up being a 41 person simul, where we only had 3 hours. Not that there was a clock. It was just we were gonna have to be out of the building in 3 hours. So, like I wanted to try and finish all the games I could. So I try to play very fast, and sometimes it's very risky. But they played well. Like I don't feel too bad about the games I lost. Ooh, Hikaru's cooking up entitled Tuesday, 3,400. Dang. Why not just take honestly, it probably is just take. I'm just catching up with people. H1 chess, you're too tired. It's these super national events are it's a lot because, you know, we work and then we stay up late and we hang out and such a good time, but you know. Okay, so again, my theory on this was we now run the king. Which is pretty crazy because we do have this blocking move, bishop d7, but this just looks so safe. Our queen covers the light squares pretty well. Our bishop covers the light squares pretty well. The downside or the scare would be king d7, maybe check here. And then he's trying to sneak over. How'd I like Seattle? I really enjoyed Seattle. I said it a lot throughout the week, but seeing the community that they have there is just, I mean, it's amazing. Like it's it's one of those things that I really appreciate, you know, being able to go somewhere and see that there is a strong chess community in a place that I mean, I've never been to Seattle before. I've been to Washington, but never to Seattle. So just to see the the community there, see how players support each other, how it all came together. I'll never not enjoy that wherever I am. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit longer on this puzzle, just because I can already tell like I'm not in the zone and I want to get myself in the zone. Like I just want to play King D7 and not calculate anything and move on with my life, and that's a dangerous place to be when solving puzzles, because you know we could do some dumb things. But three pawns, so we can't really sack material. That's a huge downside here. White has three pawns for two pieces, so if we sack a piece, then suddenly material's equal and our king likely still is exposed, so we need to be a bit of a greedy miser. Seattle is the reason to go to Washington. I actually, when I went to Washington before, did not go to Seattle. Max, how's it going? Yeah, Bishop D7 looks bad for the pin. And the rook's kind of trapped. Yeah, so it does, if there's ever, yeah, so it does, if there's ever a situation where this pawn gets pushed, that's a huge downer. But why couldn't I play something like Bishop D7, Queen B6? Oh, because Rook D6. Did I get to the east side in Redmond? I don't think so. I mean, if I did, it was like driving through. Divinity, what you... Did we just freeze? Please tell me we didn't freeze. On my end, it looks frozen. What the heck? One sec, guys. Yeah, I'm just making sure we're all good. Hopefully it's just like early kind of starting bug. Hopefully. What the heck? Can anyone see me right now? Yes. Okay, it's weird. On my end, I'm so confused. What the heck? The chat is delayed. Okay, so some weird things happening. Let me try refreshing the chat. Okay, it's refreshed. What's weird is when I look it up like on my phone, I can't find the stream. Maybe we'll just do puzzles and pretend like nothing's happening. That seems like a great plan. I like this plan. House is burning down, but let's just act like it's not. Decode, how's it going? You only found me because of the notification. Let's go. Solid notifications coming in clutch. Okay. I just want a response to this. Like, I like this idea of bringing the king up, except for him taking h5. That really is my one hesitancy, because he puts pressure on the rook, and he's about to take another pawn, and... Oh, look, now it says we are live again. Okay. Some weird freezing, whatever. I'm still showing that we have exactly 0 viewers. 100% 0. So, you guys are invisible right now. You can do whatever you want. It is okay. So boom. Oh, I mean, no, I can't go here because that's a little checkmate. So here. Everything else just looks like it loses more material. Maybe I am talking to myself right now. Mole, you say that like that's a weird occurrence for me. Why do you think streaming is so comfortable? I get to pretend like I'm actually talking to other people for once. Not just myself. Yeah, c6, defensive queen. That looks promising. Although, I once again feel like a queen check could be annoying. Hold on, I could be on board trying to sneak this way. But check here, and suddenly you can't go here because of the pin. So instead... Bishop here. But I'm still kind of annoyed by rook here. Because you have to watch out for this and then this. These positions are such a pain to calculate. Because there's so many different check options, and white can also just like go take h5 with the check. Although queen c6, queen d1, and then him taking does feel slightly better to have the king over here. Okay, just once again, queen d2, bishop d2, or bishop d7. Bishop d2 would be a fantastic move. I would love to play that, but unfortunately, it is a little bit illegal. So queen c6, queen d2, bishop d7, rook c1. I just feel like I'm stuck there. Like, how are you even making moves? Like, queen here and you're trapped. Like that's why I like this move, is because it shows me a path where I know my pieces are getting free. Yeah, okay, so maybe I need something different. Queen c6. Now here, I feel so bad after. And maybe it's fine. Dang, it doesn't delete it on screen. I don't know what you're talking about, Infinite. You like salt? I am salty, absolutely. I think it's a stupid feature. Like you could have gotten that last one, right? And I would have felt way better about it. The fact that you win just because like you didn't attempt the last one is BS. Hate that. Hut and chess. No, who are you? I feel like you're somebody that I used to know, but you know it's been forever, bro. So bishop d7 is a good point. Bishop d7, I feel like. Oh yeah, I mean rook d1, and then it's just this e6 idea. It doesn't really transpose because queen c6, then he can trade. I feel like the decision is between these moves. So we try to run this way. Or we run this way. No, Infinite. I think that's fair. I just hate that that's a way Puzzle Battle works. Am I excited that Apple is back? Wait, what is this? Who censored the potato? I don't know what you're talking about. I would never do such a thing. Stupid A feature. Extra cheese, how you doing? Should we do a poll? What if it's neither? Let's pull this. I'm really leaning towards King D7, but I'm curious. We can do a quick. All right, all right. Curious. I'm curious where we're leaning. No, the viewer's just starting to fix itself. But it's super weird because normally when it disconnects like that, which it seems like it did, or I don't know if it just froze, like it usually shows some drop frames or I mean it froze a little bit on my screen, but not that long. Like it's just super strange to me. Do any of us exist? Isn't that a streamer's worst nightmare, to wake up and realize that everything was fake? So far, Kayden is salty is going to win. It is the most true answer. I do think so. Mm. Slam dunk for Kayden is salty. It was a good lob. Yeah, this one I don't like. I'm feeling like it's Queen C6. Actually, I know King D7 was my move, but I feel like this type of position is one that the computer's just, it's gonna find some stuff, man. Like, it is gonna find some absolute garbage resources, and I don't think we want any part of that. Like, I don't know if I believe in that position. I like the idea of freeing pieces. Where I think Queen C6, I'm feeling a bit more like we have hope. Somewhere with the Bishop D7s in the world, we have hope. You know, Bishop D7, King C7. King D7, check, King E6, Rook D6, King F7, Queen C2. Well, Queen C2, Bishop F5. So here, check, here, Bishop F5. Oh, Mad Latin, thank you so much for the sub. Oh, what a legend. Wow, I just can't wait till Butt Stuff Billionaire starts watching Chess Sharkz. Yay. Takes first? I mean, if you take first, then I can take D6. D's knights. It really is this that I'm struggling with. Queen takes H5. Like, it just looks like the king is not safe. Okay, so Kayden is salty, wins King D7. King walk is second place. Well, the way to make me salty is for me to play Queen C6 and for it to be wrong. So let's follow through on the poll name. Okay, please don't be King. I'm a dum-dum. Oh, you can move the knight. Okay, well, now I feel better. At least I would have gotten it repeatedly wrong. Okay, to be honest, I don't know if I would have gotten this right. King D7 instinctively. Alright, let's see it. Let's see it. So take. Queen C6. I did calculate that correctly. Sorry. Here we go. I did calculate this correctly. Yeah, equal after one move. Alright, it's good warm-up. Good warm-up. Yeah, Queen D5. What if he takes? Then we go Queen C6. Ah! Tony, then the realization. This is tough. I mean, even to fully explain this, like, you'd really have to dive into variations. Yeah. I mean, it was correct. We followed the poll. Kayden is salty. It did win in the end. I'm salty. Like, this is... yeah, I think... I know the one thing about King D7 is just freeing the pieces. That part of it does make sense. Alright, anyways. Another king check one. Why do you hate me? Isn't this just King D2? Please just be King D2. King D2, so we open up Rook E1. And why can't we go here? Check. Here. Check. And it's repetition, or he protects the bishop. Will I play Title Tuesday today? I'm not planning on it. I think it will still be a while before I play in it again. I've talked about this every Tuesday, but for me, with I mean, they're rolling out Proctor a lot more, and there's just so many restrictions on Title Tuesday, as well as Proctor right now, from what I understand, could be a security risk that I just want to let everything get tested, and kind of fine-tuned before dealing with it, because I play in Title Tuesday for the fun, and it's kind of hitting the point where between everything, while I do understand why they are implementing it, it's not fun. Why not c4? Well, we want to open up Rook E1. It's Queen F6. Queen F6 is what I believe is the defense that black is looking for. And so if we have Rook E1, we just win against Queen F6. So yeah, for example, c4, Queen F6, I was believing to be the defense. Over here, I don't see it. Because after Queen F6, Rook E1, and GG's. Borat Chess, thank you so much for the sub. It is a grobulous day. But knight G7, I mean, yeah, so C4, Queen F6, knight takes G7, King F8. I'm going to force the trade, but here's the thing. You're actually in a huge, troublesome situation there, because I'm now threatening your knight and your queen, and if you take, I'm hitting your rook, as well as your knight. So I'm confused on this one. It seems like pretty clear, King D2. H1. Which blitz game? Send me a record of it. The blitz game. You have a record of it, right? Yeah, I think this is King D2. Okay, I pause for a second. Trying to make sure there's no tricks here. Okay, not too bad. That one, way easier than the previous one. Wait, Tony, are you there? Do you want me to still do the puzzle recaps? Maybe there's some issues after we take the bishop. Wait, after we take the bishop? Oh, you mean like... I thought that puzzle would be trickier, but... I think it's a weird range. Like, I don't know... I'm finding at this 3850, there's a wild range. Like, that one was rated 2600. I didn't see the other one, but the other one was really difficult. Like, the difference between those two puzzles is quite wild. Okay, only the puzzle makes me truly excited. There we go. I think you're underestimating how hard that puzzle is for someone not on your level. I'm just comparing it to the previous one, which is why I find it to be quite crazy. Because that other one was much more difficult. Wait, wait, what? Head of dog? What are we talking about? Win the bishop c5 later. Queen sack. I mean, right now it just feels like h5. Queen h5 is interesting, but why prepare to sack the rook when we can just use a pawn? No, because it is check. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, hold on. Wait, that makes sense. Because that's a really nasty check. And we hit the rook. So, pause. Let's say... Ooh, wait a second. Infinite might be onto something. Queen h5, rook takes g6. If he takes, it's queen takes g7 will be checkmate after the blockade. And if he tries to avoid it, so queen h5, just this idea. Rook g7 is actually a super nasty double check checkmate. Double check checkmate. So queen h5, let's say bishop takes e3. I think then the trick is probably king h2. We don't want to let him get a check where we're not attacking the rook anymore. So even though king f1 there is tempting, it might save him to have rook f2. Yeah. Wait, there was an earthquake? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I didn't feel it because this is the first time hearing of it. No, head of dog. It's queen h5, rook e1, then we go king f2. We keep that threat against the rook. Alright, I believe it. Okay, what did I say here? King h2? Let's just double check this. Because what actually happens after king f1? King f1 here. Well, we're not actually threatening the bishop, so he does have the freedom to just play like queen f7. Which I don't love that he could do that. But here we just keep the threat. Head of dog, how high are you? No, I think king h2, bishop g1 we actually do want to take. Yeah, because of rook takes e5. So I think we want to secure the piece. If he goes rook e1, we still jump in there. The checks don't go anywhere. We have bishop d4. And then there's that move, which I didn't think was a concern because we can just take here, but for a brief moment... Well, okay, in fairness, I thought both of these worked. You're telling me only one does? Bishop takes looks better, though. No, does it? Yeah, 3 pawns for the piece. But if we play bishop takes, maybe he just goes rook e4 and... It looks maybe too solid. So queen takes feels better. But if it's queen takes, it probably ends after queen takes, because I think after taking, both bishop takes and king takes should be equally, or very close to equally as good. Why are you guys talking about this? Freaking head up, dog. You're a wild soul. Okay, just one last time. Bishop takes f4. There's no rushing blow, right? Bishop h6, he just plays queen f6. Yeah, if there's no crushing blow there, then I feel pretty good about queen takes c2. His rook's just so strong. We don't want to leave it. And yeah, just take something. What do you mean just take something? One of the moves is wrong. I do want to see what's the difference though. Really, it's +3 opposed to almost equal. I would have thought this was at least like +1. Does black have some tricks though? Oh, yes. Here he's threatening take, and then there's also rook g4 and rook. Good gracious. Yeah, Mole doesn't have the patience. Okay, we gained rating so far today. 1 point. This feels like a game I've seen before. Why is it not just knight takes f6? I guess move order could be bishop takes b4. But knight takes, I'm thinking, oh, okay, there is a difference because I want to play knight d7. So knight takes, if we take first, knight takes, take, queen takes, knight d7, then he has queen, no, our bishop's guarding. He has queen g5, because that bishop's gone, which threatens the checkmate and gives him time to move the rook out of the fork. So we should take first, because then queen takes f6, knight d7. He can't go to either of these squares, so no checkmate threats, and then we pick up the exchange. If after taking he takes with the pawn, that just looks like garbage, but okay, we should calculate. Probably something to do with taking. I feel like distracting this knight. Like, bishop takes. If he takes, we win the exchange. If he takes back, then we take. King takes. Check, check. Rook e3, rook h3. If after knight takes, he plays knight takes, then we play bishop takes b4. And that's it. That's all the moves, because he's in check. Replicado, thank you for the follow. Right, it's is it that simple? Just double check this line. Take, take. Knight takes here. Knight d7. Queen g5. Because it's a move order thing, so we just want to know for sure that the other move order doesn't work. That does seem to check out. What? How can a GM miss this tactic? No, you can't exchange the bishop first. Knight d7's winning! What the? That's stupid as... 2 points is good. 2 points is good enough. I didn't even think of another move, because there can only be one solution. Yeah, you can't take... I mean, queen e4 is better to prevent takes, but this is winning! This is winning! What the... What are you talking about? That's just stupid. That's a nice idea, though. That does upset me, though. I'm not gonna lie. No, queen e4, you win the bishop on b7. I mean, overall, it's better than the exchange. I just, yeah. I guess I should have asked the question, when you see a good move, look for a better one, but pisses me off. Like, it is better, but it's winning it or winning. Winning or winning more. Hate it. Thank you, Zelda forgives me. Bishop g4, bishop f3, queen g2. Yeah, so I mean, I assume that is the trick, but what's wrong with takes? Is he just... Then why couldn't you then go here? Because then here? Oh, because you want to play rook takes d4. Ah. Santo, have a good night. Okay, so you don't want to take with the knight, because then that opens up these ideas. But playing bishop g4 opens up this idea. Hold on. Knight takes d4, bishop e6. Queen, so, okay, take, pawn takes. Queen, no, sorry, bishop e6, black to move. Queen e5, bishop d6, queen takes e4. Am I calculating this correctly? Anything at the end there? Looks shady as all get out. Okay, let's get rid of the arrows for a second. Okay, so take, bishop e6. I like this idea. It feels super close. Well, bishop c6 opens up queen c4. Wait, is there a world where we play bishop e6 first? Because that takes away the e5 square. It's crazy how it's crazy how wrong that feels, though. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but it's just like amongst the captures and the trying to checkmate and everything, like, this just feels like such a calm move that of course it's creating a very serious threat, but no, because so bishop e6, queen g5, take, and then we want rook d5. Is that the best? Wait, queen's also... No, he has h4. Yeah, so the best would be rook d5. Do you recommend doing the arrows when trying to improve calculation with these puzzles? I understand you're probably using them for our understanding, just curious. Yeah, for streaming, of course, I'm going to use the arrows. I usually wouldn't, like, if it was just me solving, but that's almost how, like, I was just, that's how I was raised to do it. I do think overall, I want to say, in my head, it feels like it should be better to not use arrows, because when you play over the board, obviously that's not a thing. But it's tricky. Okay, no crazy like boom, yeah, crazy stuff, right? King just, I hate how actually interesting that that's probably what I would play as white. Take bishop a6, but I guess we go this way is better instead of losing the rook. Yeah, Laos, yeah. I think so. I mean, I'm glad we're in agreement. I'm glad we're in agreement about one thing, computer. That queen takes c6 might be the best try. Son of a biscuit. Okay, and then king d7. Yeah, because king b8, like, actually losing this rook with the activity. And he can defend against the mate threat by moving the rook and bishop f1. That's pretty wild. I actually want to look at this. Even though king d7 is really the best move, like, where does this fall? Only 0.7. Oh, no, he doesn't even stop the mate. He goes for his own checkmate. Ugh. Dang. Alright. You know what? That's cool. Yeah, bishop c7. Who gives a flying? This looks like a very interesting puzzle, but rook takes f5. Because take boom boom. Although he can give up this knight. We could take stuff. But we're down way too much material for that. Obviously. Kiho! Kiho, it's been so long. How you doing? Just want to know if there's any legitimacy to this idea. We don't have this square, which I don't like. So we play here. Okay, there is another, you know, knight h2, just threaten checkmate in one, which is probably worth considering. Oh, there's even knight h2, rook f2, rook takes f5, which I really hope is the answer. Kiho, yes, the different time zones can be so tricky. The ongoing challenge of streaming, watching streaming. Okay, so here, how else could he potentially defend? The nice part about this is if we're going for material and not giving up material, Something like knight g3, we can dream about just taking so much material that, you know, we're not actually losing. But maybe that's... Can you post the link about that queen c6 move? Yes. Just a clip, yeah. Go to the puzzle after and see the opening, if they have an opening. Sometimes these games are, or sorry, these puzzles are not taken from games, or they just don't have how it started. Okay, any other... I'm leaning towards this. This I'm not fully convinced on. I think it's too much material, but... Okay, maybe not. I just had another realization that's actually super crazy. But you take, and you actually don't check after take, you play bishop f4. That's actually kind of interesting. Really hard to calculate though, because he could just move the queen and then you have to figure out what's happening here. Okay, so there's take and check. There's knight h2. Oh, yeah, that, this is the Magnus clip. Yeah, the queen c6 one. Trying to turn down the volume. Yeah, no, that's a good clip. Kind of similar concept. Knight h2, rook f2, queen h1, knight g1, rook takes g8. That does look pretty devilish. Clearly, this position is taken from a GM game. Okay, so h2. Knight g1, take. And the material count is a rook and 2 pawns. GM game or not, I'm looking for your explanations. Klaus, calm down, calm down. I'm trying to think it through. You learn properly. Wait, what? From the Sharkz. There you go. Glad we can educate you. I mean, that direction makes sense. It just... This one, check. Knight drops back, rook takes, threatening take, rook d1 and queen d4. So if he plays queen a4, take, king here, check, king here. Oh, we keep going. Check, king f2, rook. No, sorry, that's a knight. Knight. No, the knight's on h2. Once again, knight h2, rook f2, queen h1, knight g1, rook takes, queen a4, rook takes, king e2. Just pawn push? Then no, then the checks start. It's wait, this is the line. What do you want from me? How are we? You have to draw arrows if you want to talk about the moves. And knight h2, knight g3, another idea. Queen e4 checkmate. Yeah, that's why queen a4. Rook takes just because. Sticky fingers, I understand what you're saying. That is the wrong notation, though. So don't get confused. Okay. That's gonna bug me because I feel like there's something there, but. Maybe e4 does work. Check. Check. This square is guarded. Check here. Or check here. And I do think we're escaping. But his rook's here, so it's f6. Good golly. No, Paulius, knight h2 is the line I'm talking about. Knight h2, rook f2, queen h1, knight g1. And was strongly looking at rook takes g8, queen a4, rook takes g1, king e2. And then unsure for black how black progresses, because check, king d3, queen d5, king seems to be escaping to c2. Excuse me. Very, very reasonable, you know, as you go. Wait, what was wrong with rook f2, rook takes f5? Because take is checkmate. So takes f5, and we're just trying to take here. Or check here. My brain isn't braining today. I understood none of that. It's a pretty long line. Knight h2, rook f2, take. Knight f4. 4. Check. We need 2. No. I don't see after knight f4. Knight h2, wait, rook f2, rook f5. Bishop f4? Are you agreeing with knight f4? I feel like I'm now confused. Yeah, but oh yeah, if he takes bishop f4. Yeah. No, I do agree with that. At least that's what I was thinking. But it's this knight f4 that, I mean, it feels like black should have something there. All the pieces are active, so much pressure, like it feels like it should be. Like even something like just queen g3 looks really dangerous for white. But, you know, we're not supposed to operate under just the probably looks good. But I think that means take is probably out because bishop f4 there. Felt like he can just move and then here probably like drop back or something. Oh, maybe he takes first. Move. Just doesn't seem like we have enough material. Knight g3 there, extra cheese. Take, queen h1, rook f5, take, knight g3. Take, king e2. I was looking at that pretty early on and trying to play e4 there. I didn't like something about e4 though. I think it was just the queen moving. Is that the queen moving? I'm calculating so many lines, now I'm forgetting. Your stream disconnected at some point? It did. It like froze. No, it was very weird. Ori. Well, after e4, we're not really threatening anything. So maybe he goes queen. No, because then we do lose the queen. Check. How does white also could stop if queen h2? Could you imagine? Could you imagine if this whole time it's just queen h2? I think he just moves the queen though. Wait, but there is a discovery idea, so he has to go queen here. Yeah, here probably doesn't work because here knight d3. So he instead goes knight, or he goes queen b3. Queen h2, queen b3. So far, knight h2, I like the best. So far, knight h2, I do like the best. Because we don't give up material, and we're just trying to win material, and I kind of like the idea of not being down 5,000 points of material. It's really annoying too. The only line I feel like I found that refutes rook takes f5 is knight f4, which stupid. It just doesn't. It's just not how it should work. Cause everything else about that line just looks good. It's kind of the same with queen h1, rook takes g8. It looks good, but it's Title Tuesday's almost starting. Yeah, so in that line, queen e4, I think it was queen e2, queen h1, rook f1. Take, queen takes. Clay Copper, thank you for the follow. No, if rook takes f5 right away, Doc, then I think just take. But yeah, after queen e4, here take knight f4, I think queen e4, queen e2. Strong with knight f3. Well, knight f3 he could just take. Knight h2, rook f2, queen h1, knight g1, rook takes queen f4, rook g4. Or rook takes g1, rook g4. What's the material count? So you're currently down a rook and a piece and 2 pawns. So there you take a piece. What's the threat if I just move the queen after rook g4? You want to play queen e4, rook g1. If d4, chess player doing pretty well. I think this puzzle is so many possibilities. Replicado? Wait, is that true? Am I just a super big idiot? Rook takes knight f4, queen h1. King e2. Lynn, by the way, nice 2000. I don't... Wait, that seems right. Knight h2, rook f2, rook takes f5, knight f4, queen h1. Why didn't that work? I swore it didn't work before. I swear this is witchcraft. Are you... Knight g3? Knight g3? Knight g3 is the move he's gonna play? Knight g3 is the move that's happening right now? Honestly, I don't even remember what the line was after knight g3. It's been so long since I even thought this move was relevant. Sorry, I'm gonna be back. Tony has a punching bag. I need to go punch something real fast. What? Wait, Danya's playing Title Tuesday blindfolded? That's pretty sweet. Alright, what are we doing here? Now I have to actually remember what the line was. It was take, right? I don't know. I think it's take. Wait, that's crazy, actually. I have to see this, or not see this for myself real fast on the other screen. Huh. What a crazy guy. Dang. This proves even more. Jeez. Was there even a line? No, I don't think so. I got so wrapped up in rook f2 that I almost think it has to be take, right? Yeah, what a guy, Eroditsky, putting it all on the line, playing blindfold. Wait, isn't it just take rook f2, rook takes f5, and good things are happening? Isn't it just here? Because if he tries to guard, then here. And if he tries to run, we still play this check first, probably. Man, okay, sorry, Infinite, you brought this up. I gotta say, Kramnik is a piece of garbage. Like, I'm sorry. I want to still have some respect for him as an ex-world champion, but Danya, he had a bad day. This is like a couple days ago, and he fell below 2,900. And you want to know who posts about it like very quickly and tries to insinuate it's because Proctor's working. Proctor, which he definitely doesn't use outside of prize events, is doing its job. Like, he takes what should be absolute evidence that Danya doesn't cheat, and he twists it. What a garbage human being. In my opinion, for the record. Just in case. Like, it really freaking pissed me off when I saw that. Because I also know, like, Danya was at Super Nationals, and I happen to know, like, his sleep hours were terrible. Like, it's just... Sometimes that happens, right? You have bad days. Like, having an ex-world champion just, like, salivating over your failures like that is crazy. Okay, I really can't get this wrong, so I have to lock in for a second. Make sure rook takes f5 is the move, because it sure seems like it, but I swear, if I get this puzzle wrong after freaking 28 minutes, I am gonna be... is a huge dumpster of garbage as human being, allegedly. Exactly. Nothing else. Queen g1 doesn't make sense. Yeah. Woo-wee! All right. We're making progress. We're almost there. Just the final moments. I'm almost more nervous, even though this feels like the easier way for this puzzle to have gone. Yeah, 28 minutes. I mean, the lines were pretty crazy. Add Patty to he's list of bad character traits. He's just... I wanna say like even nastier things, but it's just like you're... Oh, a check here, check, king here, queen g6. If he blocks, rook f3. Sorry, the rook's not there. Rook f3. If he tries to run, then we have the skewer. Ooh! Alright. Okay, let's check this out. So knight h2, rook f2. Rook takes f5! But queen h1 also wins. Wait, rook takes f5 is... Yeah, I can't believe. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe how much of a space out this move was, queen h1. Like, good lord. But the funny thing is it's trying to distinguish, apparently, between a line that's winning and a line that's winning. Oh. Oh, knight g4. Only move. I was thinking about if there was a move, but there is repetition. Knight g3. Yeah, queen g1. I mean, queen takes f2 is good, but only move. And then, okay, here queen g3 also works. Queen g3 followed by queen g6. Kramnik has found internet fame infamy by being a toxic person. He was complaining about nobody caring about him in the online space, so he found the way forward, becoming a troll. Allegedly. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, sometimes I see these Kramnik posts and I want to comment on them, but I realize like that's just giving him exactly what he wants, and it's likely only gonna fuel it further. But man, it gets to me. Like, it does. I can only feel for Danya, because I'm just a bystander in this, and it pisses me off. I'm not even the person that it's actually being, you know, sent towards, or what is the word? Targeted. Allegedly. That must be one of the longest times I've taken to find a normal main too as well. I just, oh, what a space out. All right, let's do one last knight g1 here. We can do this up, and this line itself is crazy. I almost don't want to give the puzzle answer and give this this answer. Because, I mean, even still, I kind of think, like, rook takes f2 is... It's a pretty nasty defense. And this line's just so pretty. Doc Dave, thank you so much for the bits. The Sigma Shark, let's go. All right. Here, we're gonna do a quick recap. Get a clip of this. Alright. What is this puzzle's rating, by the way? 3,300? Ah, okay. Alright, here we go, guys. Don't cringe too much, bear with me. We're gonna clip this and post this puzzle later. It's a really good one. So in this puzzle, or maybe start here. Wait, this is where it starts with bishops on d. Okay, never mind. We're not gonna start here. I was gonna warm it up. I was gonna zest it up and get ready. I'm like, in this puzzle, white takes the rook, which is a huge mistake. But it just looks so stupid. Like, does this exist? Ah. All right, so we're gonna just leave that out of there. In this puzzle, black starts down 10 full points of material, but has some nasty attacking ideas. Here he starts knight h2. Nothing too crazy about this move. We're trying to deliver a checkmate. Now, the trickiest defense for white is rook f2. Rook's being attacked. We need to save it. And here, black has a brilliant move. Can you see it? Rook takes f5. Brilliant! If rook takes g2, rook f1, checkmate. And if rook takes f5, we don't check quite yet. We play bishop f4. We distract the rook. We cut it off. So now the checkmate ideas are very real. The best defense for white is to take the bishop, but he is completely trapped. If he tries to push the pawn, knight f3 is checkmate. If he tries to escape with the d1 square, queen f1 is checkmate. And the best defense, knight g3, giving the king space, runs into take check, queen f3, and queen f1. Game, set, match. Who needs material to win anyways? Not even gonna show the answer because that's just, that line right there is so nice. I love that one. Okay, wait. I need to. Let's pull up the puzzle, but I wanna pull up Title Tuesday as well and take a look. Oh, we get a big old Hikaru. Goodness. Wait, did I clicked on the wrong thing? Oh, I clicked on Chess TV instead of events. I was like, whoa. I'm being blinded by Hikaru. Puzzle ratings are crazy. Divinity, good luck at your dinner, by the way. I don't know if I said that, and glad you like the board. We're back to the blue. Oh, speaking of Hikaru, Hikaru is technically in danger, but not that simple. Why is it so different? FE5. Wait. So he plays bishop e4, but bishop e4 doesn't work. Why am I not understanding? Because there you'd have a knight here instead, and this move is just that damaging? Is that true? Oh, this move, knight f6, is that damaging. Yeah, okay. That makes so much sense. So yeah, keep the knight on g4 more active. Hikaru down. Actually, no, it's equal material. But the active rook is very dangerous. I'll change the scene so I'm not blocking. Caro gonna try and sneak it out here. Knight b5. The more aggressive move instead of defending knight f7, where a draw seems, or repetition seems highly likely. His opponent's playing very well though. Knight a4 only move. Yeah, because you can't play king c6 right away because of the check. I probably prefer white here, but prefer also not to be. He flagged! He flagged! White flags! Oh, Hikaru puts the pressure, and his opponent caves. Gosh darn it for him. I'll take a quick. Wow, it's a pretty stacked Title Tuesday we got. Whoa, Bornik went down. Dang. That's too bad. How did Danya do in his second game? Why can't I find him? Oh. 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 I'm sending messages if I was the okay, so he smoked. Oh, Fabi. Hello. Wait, what happened here? Bobby, in time pressure, wasn't able to defend the pawn, and he goes down. The old Leslie Nielsen joke, I could beat Hikaru blindfold, usually has the punchline, and if Hikaru isn't blindfolded, don't be putting that joke to the test, though. Ah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes me really want to keep an eye on his games. I mean, if he's really doing it. So he's right there. All right. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. Take a quick look. Why am I not just winning stuff here? We have this. We have this. We have this. Mikulewski played against Magnus at Grinka. Freestyle both at 5-5. Mikulewski went for a really interesting queen sack, and Magnus had to sack queen back, but was completely winning. Real inspired player. Mikulewski is one I feel like, because I played Mikulewski. First time I played him was in 2013, and I mean, not to tear him down, but he's not necessarily as young as he used to be, but he's he's almost getting sharper. Like I mean, he's always been a good player, but I have noticed he's had some, at least from what I've glanced, some nice tournaments lately, and some very strong play. Okay, let's we lost him. We lost him. Herditsky with the blindfold. I want to see it. I'm gonna think about this puzzle in the back of my head, and we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch this blindfold game. Let's see it from his Well, does this count as his perspective? Because we can see the pieces. All books so far. Watching the game live, then suddenly Magnus was down a knight in the end game. It was great to watch. Yeah, I gotta say that event was actually one of the funnest to watch recently. Like I think it was just such an entertaining event with so many strong players. Now obviously the incredible creativity among so many players really added to that, but wow. Yeah, that's a crazy game. Yeah, and he just took all the pawns. Freaking Magnus. Just takes all the pawns and wins. Just takes all the pawns and wins. Oh, whoa, what happened here? Oh, this one's getting a little dicey. Little dicey. We'll stay with this game, and then I'm gonna go back to the puzzles. Rook A-D1's a wild move, though. Instead of Rook FD1. Because I definitely would think you want this Rook here, this Rook here. He plays Rook 8. Wait, what is even the idea? I haven't played Leela yet. TT better than TT. I agree. Tactics Tuesday is better than Title Tuesday. Who's this guy beaten so far? Queen B3. Big mistake. Rook B8 tough to find though. Especially playing blindfold because there's so much happening, but he finds it. Yeah, need to see more of the Leela Knight odds. Some of that stuff is crazy though. Like I think Rook odds is actually like very reasonable. Obvious move, Rook B8. When you can't see the pieces and you have like a capture and a potential discovery and a queen and a bishop, like eyeing all the things, easy clap. They're so obvious. Dang, his opponent's playing a fire game though. I mean, he only had the one slip with Queen B3, but other than that, he's played perfect chess. Thought Fabio only got destroyed because he was worse at Blitz, but Carl got destroyed as well. Yeah, I think like Rook odds in Blitz is about right for humans. Ooh, I don't know what his plan was here. This it's not looking good. This is not looking good for Danya. Yeah, rook c2. In retrospect, seems a lot clearer, but... He's gonna try. He's gonna try. Wait, his opponent pushed the pawn to c7. That's actually maybe a small chance. Oh no, he just has rook d8. Ah! I was thinking he has a small chance because bishop d6 could be annoying, but... Oh, okay, let's see the endgame technique. His opponent's played. Opponent's played very well. And then a huge blunder? H4? What? No, you can't force the king away from the pawn. And you created a huge weakness. King f4, now black. If Danya pulls this out, this is gonna be wild. What? What is this? What is this? Wow! You lose that so easily as white. How is that possible? What the? What just happened? Oh my gosh. How do you play this accurately and then play like... How did this happen? What did you do? I'm the one who's blindfolded, not you. That was a weird game. That was very, very strange. What is happening on Hikaru's game? Yeah, G4 absolutely was winning. But even if it's not, like why like H4 is such a crazy move. Are we gonna see a what are we gonna see here? What's Hikaru gonna do? Oh, okay. Could go for a nasty pawn checkmate. Do the 7th on the 7th. See, this is the thing I like about doing tactics. Is I still get to watch Title Tuesday and watches, like, see more of this nonsense. See the crazy stuff. It's just beautiful. A lot of wild stuff happens in Title Tuesday. How did one lose this many pawns? Great question. Was it a... Okay, yeah, you just... Huge blunder. A cheater that did not have time to feed his engine the moose because of the time scramble. By the way, hello, Kayden. I mean, I'm not gonna say it, but that game was very weird. The, he Dr. Lupo'd the crap out of that game for a good portion of it. Yeah, same. I think it'll be a while before I play Title Tuesday. You know, I gotta say, as someone not playing in the tournament, this is way more entertaining than if I was playing in it. Like, I would be so upset if I was playing in the tournament that they're just wasting time. But as someone just spectating, I think this is freaking hilarious. Ridiculous on Justin's part. Like, I don't know why you're playing this on against Hikaru. Like, come on. Yep, and in Title Tuesday it shows easily when a dangerous player like Don and suddenly are playing against a much weaker human. Would chess.com ever step in and stop this? I think chess.com might have to do something at some point because this is becoming very, very common for players to do this. But it's hard to say what can you do. I mean, because you almost need someone to sort of judge. Like, and that's not hard, but it's still a judgment being made that, hey, like in this game, Hikaru should have won it way faster. Stall it out once. I mean, that is how you often win the troll, right? Like, you let Hikaru go through all this work, and then you resign. Let's be honest, the Proctor have not had the impact chess.com hope for. So my original thing of not using Proctor was the security risks, because it does allow them a very strong access to your computer. But like part of the reason now that's almost like stamped why I don't want to use it is actually just how much of a pain that I've heard it's been. No, Hikaru is streaming this. At least it looked like it. I got blasted by Hikaru's stream trying to pull up the event. This is for sure the only game going, right? Yeah, okay. Not that I was too worried on that one, but everybody's watching this right now. I'd fight someone if they pulled this chess boxing. Well, no, because if you were winning, you'd resign, but if you were a car, you'd have checkmated already, so it wouldn't happen to you. Yeah, the game review. I mean, you can see the accuracy on the side. It stays balanced, it seems like, for the most part. This was actually something about the accuracy that, I kind of struggled with when we did Davina's bounty challenge and you needed to play, like you needed to actually have a lower accuracy game and win it. I really struggled with it because in my head, this type of play should lower your accuracy, right? Like you're not playing the top move, like you are in theory making mistakes. But because the evaluation stays the same, it doesn't lower the accuracy. So even though you're technically not playing the best chess, doesn't lower your accuracy. I've studied in a virtual environment and the proctor is never touching my personal computer. Or I've gotten a pass to not use it because of the lag from the extra layer the proctor provides. Yeah, I mean, the lag, the technical issues. I've seen some of that from players as well. Oh, he got knights! Okay, wait, oh, he does have 2 pawns, so it still could be a Mona Lisa. But yeah, the technical issues around Proctor, I've been hearing are quite annoying. Which is to be expected for it and how new it is. Like, to a point, I don't love it. But I don't envy the task of trying to prevent cheating, and so on that side, like, I try to be understanding, but I mean, I also do find myself kind of against it, which is why I'm not playing in these events right now. And I've found so much, like, doing tactics and then watching this event, like, it's just been a good time. At what point does chess.com step in on this? Is Hikaru going for a fancy checkmate, or is he going for the longest Title Tuesday game ever? What was the longest Title Tuesday game? Because he can do 50 moves and then just start forcing him to take pieces. Okay, Google definitely doesn't have the answer. It says the longest Title Tuesday game is 124 move game. Which is definitely not true. Let's see, Reddit. Of course Reddit might have the answer. Oh. Longest someone could find is 539 moves. Well, we're up to 761. So... Oh, so I had Danya's stream pulled up to just like see in the background to see him playing blindfolded. And Hans commenting on this game says, I have reported Hikaru for stalling. There is gonna be a Twitter post about this for sure. We're gonna see the Hans post. Wait, is this the moment he potentially sacks the queen? Wait, I mean, I can't even keep track of where they are on the moves. Like, when is the 50? When did he promote? Oh, he has to deliver the checkmate. I think he promoted on 761, so if he wanted to extend it, he had to sack the queen last move. Now he has to mate. Stalemate. Can you imagine after all that, he plays queen a5? Get wrecked, y'all! That's the first thing I said. Cheaters can easily bypass it while feeling empowered that they are proctor approved. Chess.com were selling verified player badges. Great idea if it worked. So many verified players are cheaters, they had to scrap it. Yeah. Yeah, I think it has to be like all the things still. Proctor and then 2 cameras, but I feel like it's the 2 cameras that really prevents you at that point. What is Hikaru gonna do here? Like, is he just chilling? Is he just... Yeah, he's pointing out the fact he should have played Queen B2 last move. He needed to play this here to give the piece away so he could extend it. He offered the draw. Oh, okay. He must have played it because yeah. Okay, there's one. Wait, did he resign? He resigned finally. That's crazy. He should have stalled out. Yeah. Yeah. That would have been something. Oh my gosh. So many players are cheating on our site that we can't even have a verified player system. The verified player stuff, I remember seeing something about that. I thought the idea was interesting, but yeah, I do know it didn't work at all. Okay, so pause. Let's refresh it. Let's have a fresh amount of time on this. An actual relevant one. Why am I getting a chest noise? I don't think I have any games full though. All right. Where were we? Check or check was about all I established as options in this puzzle. I would assume it's this one though, because I think after here he goes king d2. And we're neither hitting the rook, nor if he blocks with the bishop, are we distracting that bishop, which does feel beneficial to do, because if the bishop goes, then we take check, and we can probably slide back much easier. Extra cheese, you would pay some money, register with your real name, /card/bank, and they would run a check on your profile. If you pass the cheater detection, you get a verified tick badge. The problem was verified players were cheating constantly, so they scrapped the plan and gave everyone refunds. So what's the... So extra cheese, I'm curious. How would you feel, like, say they brought it back, and it's a simple thing. You put in your credit card information, you get a verified badge. But if you get exposed for cheating with, definitively, I guess that's a bit shady, though. I was gonna say, like, they have your card information, you get the tick badge, but if you're found cheating, they charge you $500 or something. But then it gets it into really weird territory if someone disputes the cheating, and that's just messy. Does not sound legal, yeah, exactly. 50,000 then, yeah. I mean, if it was like absolute conviction, like they 100% knew you're cheating, I don't hate that idea. It's just that chess.com, I think their anti-cheat is good when they do close an account for the most part. Like, I wouldn't say I think it's a 100%. A funny troll died in the contract. The terms and services that we all sign. Here. Oh, but there, while we are hitting the rook, how do we actually defend it? Because he's taking with check, and if we drop back, check here, then he checks. It's some annoying repetition. Gotta read the fine print. I feel like you can't add such things in the contract, similar to how you can't just put if you sign this, I can take your house for free in terms of conditions. Yeah, that's true. But again, I mean, if you volunteered for it, I don't hate the idea somewhere. I don't hate it. Because it would be nice to have something that, like a little bit of a check that makes it feel a bit more likely that someone's not cheating. Like they have something on the line. But honestly, I kind of wish chess.com would just implement where you can set in your match settings that you don't want to play someone under certain days of their account creation. Like if they had that, I think I would set mine to like 3 months minimum. Like if the account's been created in 3 months, like within 3 months, I don't want to play it. Maybe even longer, honestly. Chess.com's anti-cheat sucks, and Lichess's anti-cheat is non-existent. It's a tough task. I mean, in my own pessimistic world, sometimes I don't believe that anti-cheat will keep up. I think with AI in particular, I sometimes believe that we will hit a point of chess where it's just kind of rough. And not for people blatantly cheating, but I mean, if people were cheating at like a 2000 level, an AI reached a point that they could just consistently play around 2000, and a lot of people did that. I kind of crazy. Don't need to make the cheating term so ridiculous. Just have to include if they get exposed for cheating, they will announce their names. Yeah, but that's also like very damaging. I mean, at the end of the day, for a lot of people, paying $500 if they get exposed is actually a less of a cost than their name being exposed. And so to me, you kind of have the same argument of, well, do you trust the cheating software or anti-cheating software so much that you're willing to put that on the line? Chess.com bans rating manipulators insanely slow. Take it from somebody who has. Yeah, they definitely could, and I would love to see where they do temporary bans. So if someone is gaining, a lot of sites have this, where if something's suspicious with the account, you just kind of freeze their ability to play for a bit until you can look into it, and maybe even have them require more verification on your account. Like if someone tanks 1,000 points very quickly, or even 500 points, I think that's a very reasonable point to say, like, hey, we're gonna freeze this account under suspicion of, rating manipulation, and then just have someone from chess.com look into it. Fortunately, your chess.com account is older than some GMs. No, that's not an unfortunate thing. That's a great thing. Do you think robots will become smarter than humans? Yes. I think in some ways robots are already smarter than humans. Yeah, I've had to go back on a lot of account closures of non-title players because they never let a non-title player explain themselves. Players have triggered their anti-cheat systems from whatever, but some of the ones that have demanded an explanation have had chess.com go back on the fair play accusation. Right, that's gonna happen. I think it's very, very difficult to have a system that never has some false positives. And to be honest, I'm not against the system with false positives as long as they are willing to have a conversation about it. Like, I'd rather chess.com be more strict on these accounts, but be willing to have conversations than be less strict, but when they ban, not be willing to have conversations. They are actively shadow banning players if they have suspicion towards the user and not enough evidence to close the account. But that's not something that happens automatically, right? Like, I feel like a lot more other programs or games, they have a lot more auto stuff that kicks in. Dang. Danya Drew. Li Quang Lim. The blindfold pieces. Okay, so I am thinking about this puzzle in the background, and so far nothing's quite clicked. I was thinking there could be an interesting idea with moving this rook first, but still seemed like the check is a problem. Is there a world where knight e7 could be a move? We're only up a pawn. Like, check king here, knight e7, but I don't think so. Back when I was an untitled player playing on Chesskit, I got banned for cheating when it was very easy to tell I wasn't, and I wasn't allowed to dispute it. We know which company shares the support team. There. Do you feel the same if they had closed titled player's account without any explanation? Well, I'm not talking about closing. At least in the auto stuff. As far as wait, I'm actually confused. Because I don't think I specified titles or untitled. I was saying in general that I wish they were more serious about banning, but more willing to discuss. Not gonna name names, but I get refunded the exact amount for the games against a title player. I checked their account and it wasn't closed, so I assume they're a forgiven player. It's the fact that title players get so many benefits that annoys me the most. They should be held to a higher standard with higher repercussions, not lower. So in that direction. So I hear what you're saying, and I want to agree with it, and you might hate me for saying it, but for the most part, since a lot of title players, especially if it's the public account, do have their name publicly, more is on the line for them if they get caught cheating. So maybe that's less to do with the fact that they're titled and more just, I think, if an account is public and their name is being exposed, like I do think that is a more serious thing. There should be more of a discussion and all that. If an account is anonymous, then inevitably it's less. But should the consequences be different? Probably not. Because at the same time, title players do get a free account, so they are receiving benefits, and if they're abusing those benefits, then it's almost like they're damaging it more. So like there's so many aspects to it. I think that's like why I would say, just like generally speaking, I do kind of stand by. I don't hate if it's more strict. I do think it should be more of a conversation for anybody, kind of personally.
NANI?
TK, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much. Big shout out. Guys, if you are not following yet, drop that follow for TK. Wait, we're not following. I swore we were following. So if you're not following like us and it slipped your mind, drop that follow as well. TK, thank you so much. Raiders, welcome in. In the background, I'm doing puzzles, but admittedly, getting very wrapped up in talking about cheating and what the consequences should be. It's hard to stream if you're cheating. Yeah. So that is one of the things that does upset me a little bit about Title Tuesday, is they're putting so much restriction on players that are streaming, which I feel like is a bit backwards. Like, streaming is in its way an anti-cheat. It's like, I think you should reward it, not demonize it. Central flop. So I'm thinking about these two moves and trying to take this knight, but just trying to figure out how to deal with these checks. And one of the moves I was considering to try and deal with the checks was knight e7, but so far not fully convinced on that. Now, as I say that, there is a world where knight e5 could be quite interesting, but so 533 endgame puzzles. That is crazy. Just 2.4 million left. Well, good luck on that goal. That is too many puzzles. Like they're admitting they don't have enough confidence in their methods to go to trial. The Hunt settlement didn't help. They should have taken him to court. If they were worried about fees, they could have started a crowdfund for it. It's not easy to not look like Dr. Lupo. It's just actually installing stockfish on the ceiling. Well, okay. Not looking like Dr. Lupo, I think. Well, where do we feel about that? Because from what Fabi doing the challenge and Amon doing it, I mean, Fabi got 23 moves out of 24, and Amon, I think, got 20 out of 24. So, like, good players, I mean, in fairness, good. Now, I do think, I don't think that's necessarily the fairest case, because I want to say Dr. Lupo's position, I feel like, was quite tricky. Some of those moves were, I think, above average, like, above your everyday position to play. And it also depends on, like, the 1300 and how well they play. But, you know, there's a world where some of this gets confusing. Now, me personally, I am a huge fan. I would love to see more over-the-board blitz matches happening. Like, you want to talk about anti-cheat? Like, go stick someone and have them play over the board. And, like, that is going to give you a pretty good case. Like, if you have someone doing 50 to 100 games over the board, I mean, you could even do, like, 2 50-game matches on different days. Like, if they do absolutely trash compared to how they do online, it's going to look a bit weird. And I think rightfully so, but, you know. Especially if you read the fair play terms of service, or if your account is closed, they're ready to defend the closure in court. Had an opportunity to prove that and didn't take it. Lost a lot of faith in their methods, and just cheating detection is all probabilistic. It's very hard to say for sure. If you're good at cheating, it's very easy to hide it. Still waiting to see the headline, Kayden Reagan finds no evidence of cheating in the Dr. Lupo case. The case of Kramnik versus chess.com, I have no idea on that. Like, that's... Kramnik talks a little bit about it, but I don't think we've gotten very much information overall. Yeah, cheating's messy. It's a really sad part of chess.com that it exists. Right? Like, not that it doesn't exist in other things, but this is such a small thing. You know, in basketball or football, like, the biggest controversy as when it comes to this stuff is refs making bad calls. Like, that's the biggest thing. But in chess, it can just come from anywhere, and it's really annoying. But I do wish, yeah, chess.com themselves would even host some of these over-the-board blitz matches, or even if they want to still do it on chess.com, like in-person blitz matches on fresh computers, and let some of these players go head-to-head. I think it would just be such... first of all, I think it would be a ton of fun to watch those matches. I personally have always enjoyed the matches. And I think it would lead to a lot of dispelling of these cheating accusations against some people. I'm playing, I don't really worry about if I'm playing closet cheaters that look at the engine 2 or 3 times a game. Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, a lot of people, if they're cheating at lower ratings, like, you'll still be able to take games off of them. So just focus on playing your best and, you know, try and make it happen. But, yeah, it does kind of suck. NBA's rigged. There it is. There it is, from Infinite. All right, let's solve a puzzle. Let's actually do it. We got to cross 3860. I'm really stuck on this move. I just don't know what to play after King D1. I wanted a move that prepares. Oh, there's just a crazy idea. Queen here. No, because then he goes here. I was thinking queen there, and then if king here, we could play 97. Take and try and take and take, but after here, he goes here. Excuse me, where this rook isn't hanging. It's crazy of me to wish chess.com didn't let Kramnik leave the Clash of Clans match and make him own up to his claims. Yeah, the Clash of Claims, I mean, was very unfortunate in the sense that it should have quelled some things for Kramnik, but you know, doesn't matter. At the end, he won it, not by much, but I don't blame him for cheating because there are many cheaters. What I reacted upon was his post-game call to Wolfie, where he almost blamed Wolf for the cheating rumors and then admitting to it after. But a three-part excuse before admitting the whole truth really showed his personal trait. Matter of blatant cheating he did and tried to deny it was a low blow to chess community. I would agree, Radio, if it wasn't a prize money tournament. I do think in chess, amongst like non-serious chess players, that the idea of cheating and how serious it is downplayed a lot. Like I just think people don't understand it. People make jokes about it, people post memes on it, people cheat against their friends and they think it's hilarious. Like I think it is downplayed a lot. But this was $100,000 on the line. Like there's no way you don't think to yourself, even for a brief moment, man, in a tournament with $100,000 on the line, I probably shouldn't cheat. That's not okay. Ha ha ha. Like you just don't. If this was a for fun tournament and he was gonna do it for the content or for the troll, like I still hate it, but I could see how in some twisted reality he thinks that's not as bad as it is. But when there's that much money on the line, there is no world, there is no realm where you are not an absolute piece of garbage for cheating. Like you just come on, like he is in gaming. It's not like he's brand new to playing in prize events. There is no way that that you can justify that if you're not a bit of a sus person to begin with. Like zero chance. Now I do agree the follow-ups where he was trying to use Wolf to get people off his case. You know, the person he cheated against, trying to kind of manipulate him, was garbage. The lack of admitting it was garbage. Even his final statement was really bad, and I think he still was downplaying it a little bit. But once again, $100,000 on the line. If you in any way, shape, or form think cheating is okay when that much money is on the line, problem. Yeah, it still seems, even in the full admittance, that he didn't actually. I don't think he actually fully admitted it. Tactics Tuesday. And chatting. This puzzle should not be a 23-minute puzzle, but here we are. I've literally thought of like one line. And then briefly some ideas, but seems like too much of a problem. This Queen G7. Alright, extra cheese. He had good explanation, bring these guys up top, or other phrases. Wait, Paulius. Bring who up top? Yeah, very nice move. Oh, yeah, when he was playing... yes. Such good explanations. I mean, obvious. I didn't think his... I mean, I hope you're being sarcastic, because I didn't think his explanations were very good at all. Like, it was the most general statement of, I'm gonna just open this guy, and oh, I'm gonna bring that guy to attack, and oh... I mean, when you're not saying, okay, this is, like, even take this, for example. You have two moves, like, even if you find the correct move, not being able to explain why not this move, if because I'm leaning towards queen b4 being the right move, like, it's still kind of strange in my opinion. Unless, like, you just say, yeah, I mean, I have, like, a small inkling of this, and I'm gonna guess a little bit, like, okay. And you can do that, and sometimes you're right, but doing that 24 moves in a row without... Easy. I mean, you could check here, 97, queen g7. No, you can't. He takes here. I was thinking we could just post up and be happy. Here. Pretty sure there's an engine where you can tweak level. Why did he pick Stockfish? Because he did not have a good concept as to how bad that actually looks. Like, I think for a lot of people, the idea that you can stumble onto the right moves in chess or find them at a very low level is much better than it actually is. Which, I mean, you kind of see with, you know, Fabiano Caruana, one of the top players in the world. Even he wasn't able to play 24 moves, right? And Amon, you know, a GM wasn't able to play, he was able to play 20 moves. So they're still able to find some of the top moves, but it's not like they're playing 24. And these are, you know, very well experienced, you know, strong players. So you take it for someone that is 600 and they're playing better than Fabiano Caruana can. It's, you know, suddenly it seems very bad, but if you don't really have experience with chess, the idea that you can find good moves because you just don't realize how complicated it is seems a lot more realistic. It's one of the positive things, I think, actually, about cheating is that it's hard to cheat to a point and not look at least somewhat suspicious because you know, when the right move's in front of your face, it's, I mean, you even think about that other puzzle where it was just like spacing out on queen h1, that's mate in 2. Like, when the right move's in front of your face, it's like, ah, duh. But sometimes we're human and we really do just have moments where we draw blanks on that, and that happens to all of us. And accounting for that, accounting for the human nature when it comes to chess is very, very difficult. $95. I was trying to make 95 work, but I feel like I kept running into this. Elliot, how's it going? By the way, Elliot, I'm sorry. I find it super funny to just repeat in that one line. uh, I'm committed to doing it. You can do like you pick a few people, assign one as a cheater, and you have to guess. You can enter me and cheat. It would be fun. I don't think it's easy to guess. I think something like that would be very interesting. But it's tough, right? Because say you do something like that, where you have to pick out the cheater, would be very interesting, but it depends on how much you dive into it, because at some point, if you dive into it too much, you could be actually encouraging people to cheat by showing them how to. Oh, wait, is this a thing? Queen f5? Wait, so check, king d2, queen f5, trying to kick the queen. Queen f5 is actually interesting. So busy with school, I gotta check it. Yeah, I gotta check it myself too. Like, I want to know what I should do there as black if I don't want to draw. But I haven't been too bothered because I just think it's so funny to do in my very immature way. Yeah, I've been doing tactics. I've been watching a little bit of Title Tuesday, but the last 25 minutes or so I've just been discussing cheaters and punishments and names and all that fun stuff. Okay, so here, king d2, here, he goes queen h6. And then, if this isn't something, this feels so close to something. Like, they're rook g8, bishop h4, and maybe even take then? Because if he goes and takes on g8, can plant the king on d6, and then you get a lot of attacking potential against his king. You don't need Proctor. So, I actually took a break with them rolling out Proctor, because some people in chat were telling me it gives them a crazy amount of access to your computer. Now, as I've learned more about it, I've had like a little bit of, okay, maybe I should just play. I haven't been asked to do Proctor yet. Like, maybe I should play until Proctor, or maybe just give in and do it. But from the things I've been hearing, Proctor sounds like a huge pain. Like, so a lot of technical issues, and you still have the stream delay, and you still have emote only mode, and you still have 2 cameras. And as someone who doesn't win money in these events, I play in Title Tuesday for fun, and it just doesn't sound fun anymore. Oh, you did hit the point? Yeah, I think it's pretty close for most people. Yeah, this queen e5. So I was thinking rook f5, but then I think this check is super annoying. But this queen f5, because it really stops the checks on the side, is catching my attention. It looks really good. Messaged me saying I have to fix my front camera. I responded with a question about what exactly I have to fix, and they ghosted you. So you just didn't fix it and it was fine? So I just left because I don't want to be kicked out mid-game or anything. Oh. Yeah, radio. No, this queen f5, I'm just trying to figure out for sure after queen h6. Looks really good. Leaning towards rook g8, but just trying to make sure. Why can't you just play without emote only or that Entitled Tuesday? I mean, if you're not going to win money. I mean, they'll get mad at you. I've even been doing emote only mode, and I did once receive a message telling me to do emote only mode, and I was like, I did. And kind of asked for clarification, actually kind of similar to what you said, Elliot, of like when did I not, like maybe I did forget, and they never got back to me, so I'm like, okay. You had 4 out of 4. Oh, that's heartbreaking too. Okay, I'm believing. I'm believing. Yeah. Yeah, this one I was feeling good about because I think there's just too many good options after Queen A6. Yeah, Rook F7, Rook G8, like it just. Yeah, so of course it stops there. Queen F5's nice. Like that. We have progressed. We have progressed. 38-65. Maybe we should take a look at Tattle Tuesday again. See what's up. It's not updating. Hikaru is 6 out of 6. Magnus. Wait, I assume. Also 6 out of 6. Did Danya finally go down? In his blindfoldness. He lost. Oof, lost to Lazovic. I mean, you know, that's. Lazovic's pretty good at chess. He's pretty good. Fabi. Wait, was Fabi actually winning there? Rookie 4. Oh, but that was it's a nasty sneak out that Dosbum got. Wow. Fabi just said no. Wow. Wait, this is a crazy game. All these spikes. Oh, Rook takes G1, Rook E3. Okay, then it was good, then it was weird, and then Rook D6, Rook D1. Oh! Rook D3. Oh! Okay, what was the last spike? Okay, that one actually was the strangest miss of them all, probably. Although, I think this is less missing this and more probably missing something here where just Rook E2 does look very promising. Crazy game. And next round, Hikaru versus Jeffrey. So still no Hikaru Magnus battle. And no Hans battling either of them since he's drawn a couple of games. Alright, alright. Danya's still playing blindfold. What a day. What a Title Tuesday day. This is a very weird puzzle. Did Hikaru play Magnus earlier today? Definitely want to check. But after check, he moves and it's just promoting and evaluating. Well, that's a good question. But that's very difficult to calculate. If he has to go forward, because if he goes back, maybe I can queen and then I'm in time to stop all the pawns. King d3. Is king d3 that simple? I mean, king d3, he plays bishop h6. Then he's going to sack the bishop for the pawn instead. Okay, I think after check, he probably does want to go here. Try and keep the king up for counterplay. Don't you have rook b4? Wait, so here, rook b4, but I just still move? King h5? And what's the big deal? King h5, 97. I don't know, because then g7 and like it's just, you're just playing. Definitely want something more forcing. Check, king h5. Okay, what is actually going? We queen take, he takes. This is just happening so fast, and the bishop actually does a really good job covering the squares. It's a weird one. It's a weird puzzle because it's almost more about evaluating than calculating. Now, I will say one move I find interesting is like knight c3 to try and go rook b1. So instead of... Oh, wait, in a similar vein, rook e8's an idea. Rook b2. Easy. GG's. Block the bishop. It will never escape. Yeah, this rook e8 move. Because he can't play rook d1 because knight e3. So bishop h6. So rook e8, bishop h6, rook e1. He takes. Take. And then that feels like an improvement to have the rook behind the pawns. Kind of somehow missed g7. G7's it's a very important move. You need to be ready. Need to be ready. Yeah, I like this rook e8. Because I feel like he has to do this. I mean, he can't let me get a queen. And after I go there, he can't. I mean, he can't even push because then I take and I go back and I actually pick up his queen. That looks very good. Yeah. Ooh, we got it. We got it. This is tricky though, because it's still it's tough to calculate all this. Oh, that's interesting. King g3 for white would save it, so white isn't the same. Oh, duh, because now you have rook d1, so king g4 is a huge blunder, even though it feels like you keep the king, excuse me, closer. And, whoa! White's actually winning here. Not gonna lie, I definitely thought black should have at least something to hold. But I guess the bishop and the pawns are just very well coordinated. Wow. King d3 is one of the better moves. King d3 at least doesn't lose the game. Rook e8. Alright. Nothing too crazy. I think I want to do one more puzzle and then check out Title Tuesday for a little bit and then probably call it. Maybe, we'll see. Maybe we'll keep going. This one's weird. Because material count-wise, we're only down a pawn? So why wouldn't just taking the rook be... winning? Because our knight gets trapped? Is that the whole idea? So we have to take rook e2 and then play knight c2? That seems pretty clear. So what does he play after? We should take go knight c2, knight d4. Yeah, that looks pretty solid. But I feel like there's going to be a trick. Like, black's gonna play something that's a bit sneaky. But I don't quite see it. Like, these checks, we can just move to the side. Okay, this either way, I think bishop takes is pretty clear. That one I don't I mean there's no other forcing move. It's hard to imagine it's anything but bishop d3. And now not hard to imagine it's anything but knight c2. I mean, but I guess, like, why isn't it g6, queen h5? Knight d5. Okay, so if we try to bring our queen out, we actually run into a lot of annoying ideas where this knight covers the squares of us trying to come out. Oh. Queen f3. That's an interesting move, because I would think this and this are both winning. So what's the trick? Even a slightly crazy idea with like 91. Here, we can go back to this view for a second. Get that chest Sharkz on there. Bishop c4, I do agree looks better. Just to maintain this knight d4 idea. I think my one concern about bishop c4 is g4. But it's probably a nothing. Because, oh, I guess we could maybe take then. Yeah, if he plays g4, we could take then. Because queen takes f4 feels very strong. All right. So now I gotta check. So what happens after bishop takes e2? Is it really not winning? Goes back queen g4. And our queen remains stuck. I think that's the big reason why it's so awkward, is because our queen is actually kind of poorly placed on h2 just out of the game. We'd rather it be on the other side of the board. And so dealing with that is a huge problem. Crazy. All right, let's do a Title Tuesday check. Whoa, so Hikaru lost to Jeffrey. Yikes, what happened here? Wow, just a very messy position that in the end Hikaru just blundered the rook. Wow, in time pressure. So Magnus won and then they drew. So the current standings, they're tied on 7.5 with a lot of players about to be chasing them. Naroditsky is... He won. So on 6 out of 8, which he's still playing blindfold, is very good. Yeah, Krikor is, he's not a chump by any means. Okay, it was better for Danya, and then just a one move blunder. So the blindfold Title Tuesday so far is going decently well. Portnik is looking to turn his turnaround after a second round loss, and doing a pretty decent job with it. Arjun is better against Hikaru, but needs to play f4. He does. Still messy though, because this bishop on d5 is a beast. Absolute beast. So far, oh, I jinxed it. I was gonna say so far he's playing this very well, but then maybe not. He loses the exchange, but it will be up a pawn still. So Arjun gets a pawn, Hikaru gets the better position. No. Wait, there were some tricks there. Okay, this is toss-up. Arjun's so low on time that now it's a mystery. Going for the active rooks, but... Oh no, he gave up his active rooks. Oh! Dang, the time pressure gets to everybody. Yeah, Hikaru's looking mighty comfortable now. Taking all the pawns. The king's completely blockaded out. Yeah, I don't think we need to see too much more about that one. Fabi did win. This is a weird position. Nepo is winning. Oh, okay. How did this happen? So he won? Okay. Looks like one very poor decision to give up that deep pawn. And then and then he was able to turn it around. Wow. What was that? One pawn for a rook and Nepo wins it? Actually, it started off as 0 pawns. Like, he's just down a rook. He was down... Oh, no, he hadn't taken here. So 1 pawn for a rook. But Nepo wins. That's one of those where you give up the pawn to bring the king back. Oh, am I still blocking the board? I'm sorry. I'm just testing your guys' visualization. That's a problem with switching from tactics to this. I don't really like this view when doing tactics. I like the other view better, but it's a very big board. We have it this size. Yeah, so this was the position. Rook for pawn. And Nepo sneaks it out. Wild. Yeah, this move. The pawn was just more valuable than bringing the king back. He probably was panicking at the thought of like a7 and just winning it back quickly, but he would have to save this pawn, and now, like, worst case scenario, you play rook a4, and it's looking very good for black. So the standings going into the break is, I assume, okay, there's one game still going. Overall, Magnus and Jeffrey top the standings with 6 players trailing behind them. This could be a Hans-Magnus battle this next round. With Hans being, or a Hikaru-Magnus battle. Okay, so we'll have to watch for the next round to start. Because this is it's gonna be a very intense one. This game is still going. But let's try and do a puzzle. We have 6 minutes. 6 minutes is all we can spare. We have to solve a puzzle. This one feels like it shouldn't be that hard. But I'm ready to be surprised. Okay, so this knight b8 is interesting. Knight d8 is interesting. In the back of my mind, thinking about some stuff with knight e5. Obvious knight e8, of course. I mean, we could also go... Puzzles that don't look that hard are usually the ones you failed. That is true. Because they have oftentimes some really stupid tricks. But for reals though, Knight B8 just looks so good. Ugh. Like Knight B8, Queen F5, Rook E8, Knight F8, take, Knight D7, King G8, and then just Rook C8. We're gonna take and play Rook takes C7, and it should be a winning endgame. So after Knight B8, he could also play Queen G4 maybe. But then I think Rook E8, Rook F8, Queen F7. Shadow, how's it going? Yeah, Queen F7 there looks good. Let's see, check here. Guess he could check, take the queen. Yeah, he could check, and if take the queen and try and say he's holding that endgame. So maybe Queen G4 is not that simple. Good, glad to hear it, Shadow. You can go back, yeah, so if you go back, then Rook F8. And we don't get the same pin idea that I was hoping for. I mean, that still looks good for white. But... feels like there should be something better. Check here, check here. Check, like we can run. He still has the check here. I don't know. I don't feel like I believe in that for black. I really don't. Let's take a second. What other moves are there? So Knight D8, he just moves, right? It looks close to Perpetualist. Yeah, but I mean, do we really believe Queen G4 like is the refutation? I mean, even like King F2, like it just looks like it should be good for white. Now, I can't use that reasoning to solve puzzles. It just feels so dumb. Rook Knight D8, Knight D8, Rook E7, Queen A8. Well, I think either here or here. Like he definitely keeps the rook on the F file. Knight E7 is also an option. Hold on, Knight E7 might be cooking. It's gonna upset me that Knight B8's wrong. Because it really does feel like it's because of this Queen G4. But Knight E7 is another option. Yeah, so he can't take because of Queen A8. The rook's hanging, so you can't just take the time for knight f8. Can't go here because of checkmate. Can't go here because of knight g6 checkmate. Is that it? Can't go here because of knight g6, and then we pick up the queen. Wait, is it Magnus versus Hikaru? Wait, we hit our 6 minutes? Oh, we did hit our 6 minutes. Okay, let's put a pin in it. I'm liking this 97 idea. Hans and Jeffrey. No, I think I'm believing it enough. I am believing. Infinite, very nice, very nice. I need to know. I need to know. I don't know if I feel better about this or I feel worse. I don't know if I'm happy or I'm sad about this. The whole line that I calculated is correct. But me not believing that black's holding here is also correct. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. It's kind of hitting that point. I mean, I felt like the puzzles on chess.com used to be like around the 3700 level. I felt like it was pretty rare to have a second solution. Still some puzzles with second solutions, but pretty rare. But this is a second puzzle today that there's a secondary solution. But that's actually worse. The other one was like +2, which I do consider +2 winning. But okay, maybe a gray area. That one's like for sure. +3 is for sure winning. So, you know, awkward. Oh, wait, this actually is about to spice up. Magnus versus Hikaru. This is about to get extra spicy. Well, you know, or just trade into an endgame. That probably is going to be a draw. That also could happen. We keep this view because this I want to keep an eye on this game too. Jeffrey Hans. I mean, it's whoa! It's saying that's a huge blunder. So it's saying Hans was totally fine, even better there, but of course, highly risky. Because of knight takes g7 and f5 though. That's a tough move to play. Like f5 right away makes more sense, but the amount of patience to play like this is crazy. Lenora, how's it going? Yeah, Hikaru did play an 800 move game. I think he would have extended it too, but I think he messed it up. And he was gonna have to checkmate on move 50. I don't know. I wasn't watching the stream. I don't know if he wanted to give up a piece to continue it going or not, and accidentally set it up so he couldn't give up a piece in time. But yeah, he played it. It is a big question. I've talked about this before, but I think it's on the person not resigning more so than the person playing it out. Like, not that it makes it still good to play at, you know, play that on that long, but it is kind of annoying. I mean, he extended Title Tuesday like 10 minutes by doing that. Like extended the time for everybody by 10 minutes. Like, I think it is annoying. I think it's dumb. I think chess.com, like, it's happening enough. They should start considering doing something about it. I don't know if they will though, because it leads to clippable moments, and it's like it's really tricky to start advocating for that. And if he has a lot of pieces, I would not resign hoping he stalemates. I mean, that is kind of the hope, but at the same time, like, you're playing Hikaru Nakamura, I feel like it's pretty disrespectful. Like the Leech S rule that a 300 move game is automatically a draw. For big tournaments like that, or like this, that's actually, I would not hate that idea. But yeah, I think it reaches a funny point in some of these games as far as where do you classify it when someone's playing on, but no serious game takes more than 200 plus moves. Yeah, so if you could say, like, you don't want to make it a big deal if the very, very, very rare exception of a 200 move game happens, you don't want to auto draw it, but 300 moves like that, there's no way 300 moves ever happens without it being a meme. "200 moves can, but it's very, very rare that it's going to be a legit 200 move. But if you move it up to 300 and it just auto draws at 300 in these big events, I think that's fair. Portnick's kind of whoa. Hikaru is what? He's just getting outplayed right now? Oh my gosh. Oh dear goodness. Dang. We're seeing true Magnus Carlsen in action. He takes Hikaru Nakamura down, outplaying him in the endgame. Peak Magnus. Hans won, so we, I think, are likely going to see a Magnus-Hans battle. Okay, so try and take a look at this next puzzle, but be ready for it. Gotta be ready for it. What? Okay, I'm definitely missing something. Because this looks like forced checkmate. Oh, he goes king. Wait, what? I'm gonna keep a close eye because I really want to watch Magnus Hans. We got Magnus versus Hans before GTA 6. We're getting so many things before GTA 6 at this rate. I mean, extending it another year? You're not playing? No, Lenora, I've explained this a few times. I could explain it again. I could. Basically, the simple way of putting it is I'm not a fan of Proctor for both the security risk and just the technical issues that it's been having. And I've been hearing a lot of negative things. So I haven't been asked to use it yet, but figure they're rolling it out. It's only about time. So I just want to take a break from Title Tuesday and their events until they iron out all the bugs. Okay, so take King H8. You're telling me Queen takes E7 isn't just GG's? What? This feels weird. So I do want to establish, first of all, this has to be the move, right? There's just not a world. because actually there's like the smallest chance that rook a8 first. The smallest sliver of a chance. I'm gonna be really upset. If it's rook a8, I'm gonna be so upset. That move looks dumb compared to queen takes e6. Queen e6, king h8, rook a8, bishop f8, knight takes. Just looks GG's. Oh, the game started. All right, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. What is gonna happen? Hans Magnus. I kind of wonder where Magnus stands on all this, because in some ways I feel like Magnus is the kind that he just doesn't care and would happily draw. But at the same time, like, it depends on what Magnus we get. Like, Magnus has kind of done both, where he just happily draws and keeps his lead in the tournament, or he really tries to fight. So far, looking good for Hans. Yeah, the knight on g6, looking a little awkward. Rook a8. Wait, rook a8, king f8. No, rook a8. Wait, king f8 wouldn't be legal against rook a8. Are we gonna see a Hans Niemann crush against Magnus? Is Magnus about to get moked? So far, he's playing very well. I mean, it says that's a mistake, but he has to take on e5, then take on f4, giving up the exchange. I don't think that's so clear. He's thinking about it. Howdy. You guys start at 7, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Magnus spending all his time, finally takes on e5. Does he give up the exchange or f7? One thing I have noticed about Magnus is he's actually very sharp on knowing when to give up the exchange. I've seen quite a number of his games where he does this, and it's just, like, beautiful. In a blitz game, this definitely has some sense to it. Opening up queen h4 and some potential counterplay, but I don't know. I don't know if I believe. Magnus has to make me a believer. Mostly because these pieces are still kind of so-so. I mean, if these pieces were a little bit more active, yes, open king, a lot of it makes sense. But it's going to take some time for him to organize. Ooh, this maneuver, and knight coming to d4 at some point would feel quite good. Would feel very nice. Oh, if he finds 94. That would have been wild. Okay, he didn't. He's a reasonable person. I don't know if that's actually the best adjective for Hans, but in this game, it is very reasonable. Isn't GTA just around the corner? They dropped a trailer, but last update I heard is that they pushed it to May 29th, 2026. But there is something to be said. Like if they pushed it back but then released it sooner, like sometimes, I mean, you saw what happened with the Oblivion remake. Some of these shadow drops are just surprises. I think get the excitement for a game going crazy. FP3. Those are some great emotes. What the heck? Some Hans emotes being dropped in chat. I think Magnus is getting moked. I think we're gonna see a full-blown Mokeness Carlson right now. I think he's sneaking out of this one, but he's a sneaky guy, so maybe a little complications, just a little bit. The time situation. Ooh, terrible position, terrible time. I think I don't believe that Magnus pulls this out. Well, you know, maybe he does. What? Bishop c5 is a... What? Okay, the computer's confused. Bishop c5, best move, a miss. Oh my goodness. Equal? Lim, I'm not playing right now. Just gonna keep doing the puzzles and watching Tattle Tuesday right now. T-Shop on YouTube, how's it going? Dang, I might have to eat my words here. Magnus is holding it. No Mokeness Carlson today. It's regular Magnus. Doing Magnus things. Just being Magnus. Another day. For sure, for sure. Oh, and the draw. He holds it. So what was the big miss? Nah, it was rook takes b7. He needed rook g4 or rook b2. Wow. Wow. Dang, Bobby goes down. How was Nerditsky? 7.5. Not bad at all. Going into the last round playing with blindfold pieces. I think overall he's gained rating too. Yeah, I think he's gained some rating. Magna Carled. Dang. Alright. Alright, let's go take a look at this puzzle again. I believe it's queen takes e6, but this is where I get myself in so much trouble. Because there's some little trick. Okay, why would it be rook a8 first? He does play this. Well, what does that change? Nothing, right? Still take king h8. So it doesn't make sense. Okay, so queen takes e6, king h8. And now we have to decide between take and rook a8, which the annoying thing about this is both look winning to me. Like, just at a glance, both look winning. I would think rook a8, bishop f8, knight takes f8 is what I was leaning towards. So we have some very serious knight g6 threats. And the thing about having the knight on f8 is we guard g6, so no queen g6 in response. But here, check. I mean, he has to sacrifice. And then I'm guessing the claim is there is repetition. Where's the bathing? If we were to try and sneak through, I think we would do it here, here. But if we try to sneak through there, he'll try to check us from back here. So check after taking king here, here. We can't. No, we can't because we have this. Okay, once again, take. What if he takes here? Okay, that's maybe a bit more annoying. We could try to take the bishop. He welcomes it. That looks winning. Ah. So he hits us with the unbelievable rook a8, rook f8, opening up queen d1. Although I'm now realizing queen d1 was probably the move to begin with. And then rook takes f2, queen f3 does seem to be repetition. So we need to just take. It keeps going. All right. All right, wait. Okay, so what are the results? 9-9. Oh, this guy is on 9 as well, having only lost to Hikaru Nakamura. Dang. And Hans with a solid chance. Oh, it's Hans Hikaru. And Hans is better right now. You take, you don't allow the queen checks, and you make a threat. Mate in 3? No, he sacks. For sure. Those 3,800 puzzles are so hard, it hurts my brain just trying to solve one. That is a lot of truth. It is very tiring. I'm just doing a quick check, just to make sure I have the position solidly in my brain. Hikaru won. Man, Hikaru's spending a lot of time. Hans might find himself in a very similar situation. Better position and time up on the clock. He's still going. Is this a me issue? Wait, all of it froze. Wait, the title Tuesday just... It was a me issue. What the heck? I was gonna say, I see Magnus is also spending forever. Ooh, okay, Caro is really low on time. Magnus is completely crushing right now. Bordnik is crushing. Serrana is crushing. Okay, maybe... Yeah. Magnus looks like he's gonna win. Hikaru with a miss. Knight G3 needed. Rook takes H3. Dude, he's getting smoked. About to be Hikaru Mokamura right now. Good lord. G3, of course. Oh my gosh. He didn't just lose. He got freaking destroyed. 1 minute and 40 seconds still on Hans's clock. He is... Wait, what's better? Mokura Nakamura or Hikaru Mokamura? I think Hikaru Mokamura. He got moked. Change the name. That's crazy. This wasn't the decisive results you were looking for. Extra cheese. You should have clarified that sooner, my guy. The decisive results were had, and I think we have to credit you. How's Naroditsky doing? Oh, look, he's right there. No, he lost. Oof. Oh, this feels like the blindfold got to him for one game. Yeah, that feels like a little blindfold mishap. Not bad though. 7.5 out of 11 playing blindfold in Title Tuesday is actually still kind of insane. Whoa, Magnus messed it up. Magnus messed it up. No way. Wait, no, he takes G3. Come on, he's got to fight. Oh, he's gonna take it. Whoa, and rely on tie breaks. Hans might win Title Tuesday. Hans has the best tie breaks right now. Oh my goodness. How did this happen? How did it go from Magnus having such a beautiful position to Hans winning the event? I mean, Hans played well. Like, he was pushing against Magnus, so definitely no bad chess on his part, but still, what a turnaround. Okay, we'll come back in a minute. We still need to finish this puzzle, which I feel like is just check and knight f8. But I guess the question is, no, I think we play queen takes. After rook takes, we play queen takes because we do need to have threats of our own, and he doesn't have repetition because we just sneak to h2. Crazy though. I mean, it's crazy to me that rook takes f8 also wouldn't be winning, but it looks like not quite. Like, queen takes f8 is that good. So yeah, the trick is just not to play rook a8 because that's equal. Okay, queen d1. Not too bad, not too bad. Man, it's hitting me with a lot of ones that just look easy. Like here, rook takes g2, you know? Nice knowing you. Like, thank you for the game. Why? Why is it not? Isn't it, though? Isn't this take... What's the move order? I guess we check first. King g1, check, queen g3, take. F takes to avoid queen f3 checkmate, so he has to leave the rook open. But after f takes, we play queen c2. If he checks to avoid the knight getting taken, then he no longer has rook d2. If he plays rook d2, we take the knight. These ones I get wrong, though. Infinite pointed this out, and it's very true. I definitely get some of these wrong, where it looks so clear. How isn't it just... Well, okay, so after takes, one thing worth noting is it's not forced for him to take back. He can play king h1. Which does change stuff, actually. No, because then we go queen f3, knight c5, king c8, and if queen h8, I have rook g8. But wait, after rook takes king h1 or queen f3, if he plays something with rook d3, like even rook d3 right away, and knight c5 ideas. No, he has to play knight c5 first. He has to force king c8, so this is blocked. King c8, then rook d3. Actually really annoying. Why queen f3 immediately doesn't work? That could be the trap, actually. Is that queen f3 is the move because rook takes g2, king h1. It's just crazy. It's crazy to think that rook takes g2 doesn't work because he doesn't take it. And that's annoying. But yeah, I mean, no, queen g3, I mean, queen g3, rook takes g3. I think it might be queen f3 first. Like, the whole trap of this position may very well be that rook takes g2 doesn't work. Like, if he does block, we'll happily take and then just move our queen somewhere. Queen f3, g3, bishop h3... Queen check, king c8, knight check, king c8, knight check here, king c8. And if he tries to run, then at some point rook e1. No, infinite. So, I think rook takes g2, he has to play king h1, because rook takes g2, king h2, bishop h3, he has to go king g1, rook g8, queen g3, take. If he takes with the h-pawn, queen f3, if he takes with the f-pawn, queen c2, forking the knight and the checkmate, where if he checks, we move the king and he can no longer play rook d2, and if he plays rook d2, we take the knight. So rook takes g2, I think king h1 is forced. Where black has nothing. Because queen f3, knight c5, king c8, rook d3. Saying it like that, I'm also messing with you. But I don't see how he defends against queen f3. Oh. No, that's stupid. Never mind. I'm not even... I was about to say knight c5, king c8, queen h8. But that doesn't really... that's not how pins work. Rook takes g2, rook takes h2. Would be nice if he didn't have queen takes h2. I just don't see a defense after queen f3. So I think I'm going to do it. Okay, he checks there. It's a little bit annoying. So definitely not here. Knight c5 was nice because it made it clear that it wasn't king b6. Here it's not as clear. No, so that, I mean, rook g2 there, he just plays rook g1. Worst case, you have repetition, I think. Still doing puzzles? Of course. Oh, wait, we should see, final standing should be in. And it looks like Hans did, in fact, win Title Tuesday. Dang. Wow, Magnus actually had the worst tie breaks? Oh my gosh, that's actually BS. I mean, he was the last one to lose a full point. Kind of crazy. I don't think it would be a terrible idea for Title Tuesday to switch to accumulative tie breaks. Accumulative, I think, actually makes a lot more sense in this type of format instead of taking the score of your opponents. Because what probably happened is one of these players dropped out. Yeah, see? You can almost guarantee it. Like, one of his opponents just didn't play the full time. And because of it, Magnus, loses out on Title Tuesday. Oh, he had another opponent that just didn't play all the way. So, I mean, he should, by all means, have the better tie breaks. He played the harder players. But because he had some players withdrew, it looks like just those first 2 round opponents that withdrew, his tie breaks are absolutely shot. What about this guy? Also withdrew. Yeah, I mean, he had 3 people that withdrew. Completely out of his control. Like, they're still... It's crazy. So this doesn't work because of this. Knight c4. Is that right? So we still want to play king c8. Nice. So let's check it. Let's check rook takes g2. King h1, only move. Wait, there's mate in 6? Oh, duh, because if he takes here... Wait, that line actually was winning with rook takes g1. But he just takes back this way. Wait, I'm actually surprised this is winning for black. I was very skeptical, as Infinite Potato knows. Your king actually will find safety. His fault he didn't get 11. True story. But he can just block it like this. Yeah. All right, all right. I think we'll do one more. I think we got one more solid. Why? This is strange. It's one of the rare times we start up material. Yeah, we're almost to 39. Oh, 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 whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so D7's, D7's a problem. D7 is a D7 is a problem. We're not checking in tile 2, so let's switch back. But taking an hour at this rate, skill issue. I mean, it is. That's why we work on tactics. Okay, so if this is White's big idea, what's wrong with taking? Whoa, Queen E5. We actually can't escape. No, we have Bishop E6. What? We can't escape the checks. We can't escape the checks with our king. It's kind of boxed in, but there's a Bishop E6 move. But then why couldn't we play Bishop E6 right away? Because then he goes here. Queen H8. Queen H8. Queen H8. You're crazy. You're a wild human being. What is Queen H8? Yeah, or Bishop A6. But this, I mean, this makes the most sense because I just want to trade. Like, if it comes down to it. Or I want to, win. Or I want to win. Bishop A6, I think Rook H1 is going to be the defense. Or, sorry. Rook A1. Going to be the idea. But Bishop A6, you also have to watch out for this now, right? Check, 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 check. No, maybe not. I guess you just run this way. But yeah, I don't know. Rook A1 is probably where I very hesitant. Because take, I mean, this just looks like a lot of potential problems you're running into. Alright, Danya. Gonna close. I had a stream pulled up watching him play blindfold. Gonna close it out. Looks like he's back to playing a normal chess. No more blindfolding. So it's between those moves. No, I guess Bishop E6 does technically not lose on the spot because D7, then we do have King D8. It feels very suspicious, Although maybe queen f8, rook d1 would have something to say about not losing on the spot. So bishop e6 technically is a move, but don't like it. Bishop a6 is a move, but I don't like this. So queen takes b3. What if he does the same? Just rook a1 says, I do not care. He also does want to cover bishop a6 because the huge threat would be queen c2, bishop a6. So he plays rook a1. Anyways, and then he also has some ideas still with d7 where he checks us, so bishop g7 does not seem to work. So after rook a1, I feel like we could... I'm gonna struggle to sneak out of... Bishop a6, rook a1, bishop g7 looks pretty wild. So he has a response. Actually makes a lot of sense. Because d7 we just play king d8 and we act like we have no problems in the world. And you're not really threatening. Wait, Gunnar, e8, rook takes e8, knight takes e8. Wait, what line are you talking about? e8. This is e8. I hope her rook's not taking it. Oh, I think I'm liking this bishop g7 idea. Because I do think that it should be rook a1. Like, if it's not rook a1 after bishop a6, I think we're pretty happy. I mean, there's some annoying checks. Hold on, I forgot about the annoying checks. Check. 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 He could take. Maybe not. Maybe not. Those... What are we doing after queen e5? Because if he gets to take all of my freaking pawns and hit the rook at the end there, I rescind my acceptance of bishop a6. No, bishop g7 first, just you run into d7 and knight d6. Otaku, how's it going? Uh-oh, Tony's coming down. How's it going?
So good.
Oh, good.
Well, Emily didn't think my idea was genius. I think she's wrong.
Your ABC one?
Yeah, she called it a 5 out of 10.
Dang.
And my bullshit. And then she got all worried that I stole the idea. I did not steal it.
Wait, why did she think you stole it?
Because that's his thing, alphabet trust. Anyways, oh my god, what is this angle?
This was just me because I was sitting really close. But you can raise it up, I think.
Good choice. Good choice.
That's how you would want it. I know. No, bishop a6. I don't have an answer for queen e5. King here, check. King here, check. King here, or I guess b7. No, b7 is bad. So king b8, and then he just takes e4, and says we've lost all our stuff.
And if bishop g7.
Bishop g7, d7. Knight d6.
King over.
Queen takes. A little bit of a problem. Little flesh wound and then some. Little organ wound. Little bullet to the heart. Who cares about pawns? Okay, I'm back on queen takes b3. I know, right? Taking a pawn, crazy. Be such a lame puzzle. You're such a lame puzzle. Queen takes b3 is too boring.
Do we have a threat anywhere?
Do they have a threat anywhere?
Do we have any?
Right now, no.
Damn. Fucking love time.
Nice.
Yeah. My wife thought that you had crashed at our house this morning because all the lights were off down here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Turns out it was a power outage.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
She's like, is Kayden downstairs sleeping? Why didn't you tell me? I'm like, what are you gonna tell me? It's like 7 a.m. Sure. Why didn't you tell me?
You thought I just snuck into your house and like slept?
You could have just texted me so I could sleep in. It wasn't even you.
Damn, I got blamed for a power outage. Freaking heck. No, queen e5, then bishop e6. That's the difference. I believe it's queen takes b3. I don't know what to do after rook a1, but I believe that's the move.
What's your threat with queen takes b3?
Queen c2, bishop a6. That's why rook a1 I think's the move. I believe. Fudge!
Wait. Bishop g7. No!
Wait, are we dumb?
Is it just king up?
Wait, that's not what I wanted to play.
King up.
King, come on. What?
Jesus.
Minus 20, there was a 2600 rated puzzle. And all the moves are wrong. F4? Wait, what?
Wait,
I can't keep from losing.
Wait.
Queen b5. No.
Rook takes up 2.
Wait, what? How is it this wrong? Every move I played.
Bishop takes e6.
That's the wait. That's Queen b7. Queen b7 is the move. Oh my gosh! Are you effing with me? That's a bull. Freaking 2600 rated. Are you kidding me? Queen b7 is what it's gonna hit me with?
We also.
Okay, for the freaking record, queen takes b3 is the second best move because I'm a freaking human being that knows how to play good chess, not a computer that plays ridiculous chess.
This is a dumb pull. Queen b7's crazy. And it's still a draw?
Queen b7's not even, it's questionable if it's winning. I'm actually pissed. I'm actually pissed. This is stupid. Life is okay. It's fine. That's as stupid as... Ah!
You should make sure to download this one.
Download this one?
Downvote.
Download?
Downvote.
Downvote. Oh, you can downvote?
Pretty sure, yeah.
I didn't think you could on chess.com.
What? Am I
Oh.
crazy? Oh wait, it's gone now.
Well, there wasn't a downvote option. I'm not gonna make 2,900 because I get a stupid A puzzle that cost me 23 rating points. My game history. I'm like,
Get a stats, puzzles.
I'm a freaking genius. Woo.
Okay, I swear there used to be an upvote and downvote. Am I crazy?
Did they take it away? Was it never a thing?
Wonder if I can report that. 1.1 pass rate. You want to know the fantastic reason why it's such a low pass rate too is because even people that try to cheese it by doing the hint clinch where they show the hint and then try and solve it, they would see the hint as move the queen and guarantee play queen takes b3. Yeah, Lee Chess has a downvote.
Wow,
I need to
not
stop.
fair.
I can't. I'm so upset after that last puzzle. Like, this is where I tilt. I need to. It's a good time to pause, anyways, because we have to finish soon. No, stop. Stop. Ah! Stop throwing a puzzle. Imagine tilting in puzzles. I mean, look, if it just cost me like 11 points, I move on. But 23 points, that's 5 puzzles right there. The way I solve them, that's 5 rated puzzles gone down the drain.
Yeah, you kind of got Jude.
I might be salty enough to like actually report that puzzle. Even if I don't get refunded, like that being 2,600 rated is crazy. Now we're just on news. All right, well, everyone, we will be doing a collab tonight, which is super exciting. We'll be collabing with Soft Mates, so hope to see you all there. It will be a good mix of some rapid and some punishments. So should be a good time. Yeah, Kayden is salty, wins the poll again. I'm actually like super upset about that. I'm trying to resist swearing, but I think it's freaking stupid. And actually has me salty enough that I might go like look into reporting a puzzle. But anyways, everyone, thank you so much for being here and just bearing with me through the puzzles and the salt. Pretty wild time. We saw Hans Niemann win Title Tuesday.
He won?
Yeah, on tie breaks, it looks like he did.
What?
Yeah. Well, Magnus got kind of screwed over because 2 of his early opponents withdrew. Yeah. So we will be back tonight in about 2 hours. So hope to see you all back then. Until then, go show Stellar Chess some absolute love and appreciation.